Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
A local firefighter finds a fun way for kids to learn about the career. His books that he hopes inspire the next generation of firefighters. People come out to support children battling critical illnesses. The fundraiser that's helping make dreams come true. And a State Line Museum gains national attention. A sold-out crowd gathers to watch a show about the haunted landmark. Good evening, I'm Taylor Castro. Thanks for joining us tonight. A Janesville man leads police on a 14-mile car chase after an attempted murder. Just after 4 a.m. Sunday, officials say 30-year-old Sergio Morales Jr. fired shots at a victim in the 2300 block of Center Avenue. He then followed the victim to the intersection of Roosevelt Avenue and Southern Chatham Street, shooting at the victim again. Police say the shooting was related to a domestic incident. Officers arrived on the scene and pursued Morales through the city until his car was immobilized near the I-39 overpass. Morales is being held on charges of attempted first-degree intentional homicide while armed, fleeing and eluding police, and operating while intoxicated. Several people are displaced after a late-night fire in Rockford. Rockford Fire was called to the area of Auburn and Evelyn Street for an apartment fire on around 8:30 Saturday night. Crews arrived to find smoke showing from the first floor of the building. Fire was found in a rear bedroom. It took under 20 minutes to control the blaze. No one was injured. One adult and 2 teens are being assisted with housing by the Red Cross. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Well, October is National Fire Prevention Month, and one local firefighter came out with a unique way to inspire the younger generation to take an interest in the firefighting career path. Drea Baroni was able to talk with him, and Drea, what'd you learn?
Yeah, Taylor, for the past 18 years, Bo Cheney served the Rockford Fire Department. Now he's a fire recruiter and has a new way to spark interest in the profession for future generations.
Everybody starts off playing cops and robbers or being firefighters, and somewhere along the lines they get disinterested in it. So I'm just trying to figure out how to get them back interested in those type of opportunities that we have.
Bo Cheney's children's book and newly released coloring book introduced the world of firefighting to young kids, encouraging them to explore careers in public service. He says he didn't get this type of exposure to the career when he was a child, which inspired him to publish these learning materials.
When I was in schools talking to kids, not a lot of people knew about the fire service, right? So my idea was to create some early exposure as a kid and kind of keep them involved until it's time for them to test.
The coloring book includes pictures, crossword puzzles, and word searches. Cheney says he was skeptical of a coloring book at first, but after seeing the creativity of children's drawings, he was sold.
It was a way that someone could put their own touch on the fire service. The imagination goes wild when they start coloring. Every time I have a book now, I'm going to try to come right back with a coloring book where kids can kind of put their own touch to it.
The coloring book's main characters are based off Cheney's 2 sons, Rob and Rocky, who he says played a large role in creating the materials.
They picked out the hairstyles, they approved all the costumes. The kids would pick out everything, but they're still into it. And then they're in the process of starting to do this, so they want to start writing books.
Cheney is releasing another book focused on careers in the trades that comes out next month. For more information, go to mystateline.com. Taylor?
Thanks, Drea. The Rockford community came out this morning to support life-changing experiences for children with critical illness. The Walk for Wishes benefits Make-A-Wish Illinois. The organization says these experiences can help children find the strength to cope with pain and uncertainty. Among the participants were Wish alumni families. Make-A-Wish will grant over 750 wishes for children in Illinois this year. More steps were taken in a walk that's been hosted for decades as it continues its effort to end hunger in our community. The Rockford Area Crop Hunger Walk raises money to support local food pantries. The 4.7-mile walk began at Riverfront Museum Park. This year, founder Stanley Campbell will be honored. He's been active every year since starting the walk in 1985. The goal is to raise $25,000. Tonight, a free viewing of a show that highlights one of the State Line's paranormal sites. An episode of the national television show Jack Osbourne's Night of Terror showcases the Rockford's historic Tinker Swiss Cottage Museum. The museum's been receiving national attention for being haunted. The sold-out viewing is being held at Veterans Memorial Hall. After watching the episode, there's a Q&A with locals who were involved in the filming. Honoring a Bears legend as the team takes on the Vikings at Soldier Field. Coming up, how people are celebrating the legacy of linebacker Dick Butkus at a Sunday morning tailgate.
A little less in the way of cloud cover earlier today, but we're starting to see those clouds kind of roll back in. That'll lead us with mostly cloudy sky tonight, but we should stay dry. Drying out after several days of rainfall. We'll look at just how much rain has come down and when we can expect a little more. All coming up in your most trusted forecast a little later.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Taylor Castro, Reagan Holgate, and Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Bears fans honor Hall of Famer Dick Butkus before the first home game since his passing. This morning, fans and family gathered at Navy Pier for a pregame tailgate to remember the legendary linebacker and to raise money for two causes close to his heart. Judy Wang has the details from Chicago.
Team Butkus tailgate, bellying up to the bar as a feast awaits number 51 on full display.
I think it's supposed to wash out, and even if it doesn't, I'm okay with that.
They're remembering a Bear who was larger than life.
He did whatever he had to do to get him down. So that meant if he had to bite him, if he had to kick him, if he had to elbow him, he did whatever he had to do in order to make the tackle.
Monster of monsters of the Midway.
Legend has it that when there was a pile, when he did the tackling, that people would come out of the pile with bite marks.
Fans filled the Billy Goat Tavern at Navy Pier for a pregame party. They paid tribute to Dick Butkus by raising money for two organizations, the Butkus Foundation, which promotes health and wellness, and the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. This was Matt Butkus' first public appearance since his father's death.
Selfishly, I still wish he was here, but he's in a better place. My dad always said, giving back's a big part of it. So I want to keep giving back and keep going on.
I had a golden opportunity, and I was very lucky to do what I love to do, and that was to play football.
The Hall of Fame linebacker died October 5th at age 80. The Southside native was a star at the University of Illinois before the Bears drafted him in the first round in 1965. Butkus retired after 9 seasons with the Bears, then went on to become a broadcaster and actor. After tailgating, fans headed to Soldier Field to watch the Bears go for their second straight win.
We don't abandon our teams and so forth, win or lose, and so that's one of the wonderful things about being in the Midwest. Die-hard fans no matter what.
What can you say?
God bless Dick Butkus.
God bless
God bless him.
Just thanks again. Go Bears.
Go Bears!
That was Judy Wang reporting. Reagan Holgate will have highlights from the game later in sports. After a month's worth of rain to start the weekend, it was much drier today. Candace tells us when we could wake up to frost. Her forecast is next.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, after a pretty rainy stretch, it was nice to dry out a bit this afternoon and actually see a little sunshine too, but our rainfall over the last several days has added up to quite a bit. To look at the numbers coming in on Friday, over 2.7 inches of rainfall came down Friday afternoon and Friday evening, just a little over 2/10 yesterday. So nice to have some dry time as a little more dry air came in here this afternoon. That pushed us up and over not only where we should be for halfway through the month of October for rainfall, but pretty much through the month of October. So any additional rainfall going to be a surplus, and we needed it, just not the most ideal time coming in during harvest time. But we've got some drier days ahead, so that'll be nice. We've got a little more cloud cover though starting to work in as some moisture wraps back in around that low pressure system. So while we had some clearing take place earlier today, what you're going to notice is those clouds coming back in, and this will lead to a mostly cloudy sky. We take a live look with our SkyTrack camera here up in Beloit this evening. evening. Clouds coming in. Winds are going to stay with us through the evening. Wind speeds will ease up just a bit here as we go throughout this evening, but they'll pick back up over the next couple of days, shifting around to the south, which will bring our temperatures back up into the 60s by the middle of the week. But for tonight, we've got an increase in cloud cover, so mostly cloudy skies by about 9-10 o'clock this evening. We should stay dry with the exception of some showers off to the east. These are mostly lake effect showers, and I don't anticipate those to have too much of an impact for us here for tomorrow. Temperatures will start off in the 40s tomorrow morning, and we've got the cloud cover, but we should see some clearing take place by the afternoon. Now, if these clouds hold on a little longer tomorrow, that will impact the high temperature, but if we're able to get rid of them as early as noon, or at least see a little sunshine like we did today, temperatures for tomorrow will be very similar to today in the mid and upper 50s. Still below average, but we're going to gain a little bit each and every day. Now, what we will watch, however, is the amount of clearing that takes place Monday night into Tuesday. Temperatures are likely to drop down into the 30s, and this could lead to some frost Tuesday morning. Maybe not widespread frost, more patchy frost in the morning, but a colder start. Winds pick back up from the southwest for the afternoon. We'll see some cloud cover pass through. Temperatures will be back up near 60 once we head into Tuesday. 57 our number in Freeport and Rockford, 55 in Rochelle, and 54 in DeKalb. Our weather watcher Terry down in Genoa has 55 degrees. Dew point temperature sits at 44, and that wind is a little on the brisk side from the north, anywhere from 12 to 15 miles per hour down there in northern DeKalb County. For tonight, we'll see those numbers drop down to around 42. Partly cloudy and breezy this evening. Clouds are on the increase, but we do stay dry. Temperature tomorrow up around 55, so a little cooler than today, especially if we can hang on to some of the cloud cover. But again, if we see those clouds clear out soon enough, we'll be back up around 57, 58 degrees for tomorrow. Getting out in the fields the next couple of days looks pretty decent. You might just have the frost to contend with there Tuesday morning, but the afternoon going to stay dry. Wednesday, a mostly dry day. We do have a small chance for a couple of light showers in the afternoon and evening. So assuming field conditions are decent to get out and maybe drying out, and the beans are dry enough, you should be able to get out and maybe start some corn there for the next couple of days. Thursday looks like a better chance for some rain, and we may even get a rumble of thunder with that too as that next cold front comes in. So 60 on Tuesday, 65 on Wednesday. So we're going back up above where we should be with the southwesterly wind. But behind that cold front, we'll see those numbers drop back into the 50s, settling back below average by the end of the week.
Thanks, Candace. Reagan's in next with sports. The Bears looking to take another step forward today, but only to take 2 steps back. The latest from Soldier Field is coming up after the break.
Now sports with Reagan Holgate.
The Bears were hopeful for a divisional win today against the Vikings, who were without star receiver Justin Jefferson. Well, that hope lasted only 10 days, and instead of the dream of stepping forward, the Bears suffered not 1, but 2 losses today. And it was all about number 51 at Soldier Field, honoring the great Dick Butkus. We'll pick things up in the third quarter with the Bears' first drive. Justin Fields under pressure, gets sacked, lands the wrong way, and he would actually leave the game after that and not return. So the Bears had to turn to rookie Tyson Bagent. Now Bagent's first drive as an NFL quarterback, he gets sacked by Josh Metellus and fumbles the ball. Still free here, and it's scooped up by Jordan Hicks, who takes it all the way back for the scoop and score, and the Vikings lead 19-6. So it's still the same score in the fourth, and Bagent keeps it himself for his first career touchdown. Bears down 19-13. Then with just over 2 minutes left, Bagent looking to go deep to DJ Moore, but it's intercepted. The Vikings hang on and win it in Chicago 19-13 for their second victory of the season. And as I mentioned, Fields went down on the Bears' first drive of the third quarter. He was sacked by Daniel Hunter on a 3rd and 7 play. He tried to brace himself as he was brought to the ground while throwing the ball away, but he landed awkwardly on his right hand, his throwing hand actually. Eberflus said the x-rays came back negative, but he will have an MRI tomorrow. So here's a look at where things stand in the NFC North halfway through Week 6. The Detroit Lions holding down the first place spot by a large margin. They're trying to move to 5-1 today with a win over the Bucs. Green Bay is in second at 2-3. They're on a bye this week, and the Vikings still in third. They improved to 2-4 after today's win, and the Bears trailing the pack at 1-5. And how about those Brownies? Cleveland stuns the 49ers to hand them their first loss of the season. It came down to the dying seconds as San Francisco kicker Jake Moody missed the 41-yard field goal. 19-17 the final there. Now, we won't see Green Bay take the field this week as they are on a bye, and I'm sure most Packer fans are pretty happy about that because things have not looked good up to this point. The Packers ranked tied for 29th in the NFL in offensive points scored per game in the first half this season with a lackluster 5.2. They rank last over the last 3 weeks in that category with 2. The last 3 games in the first half, it looked like this: 0, 3, and 3. But of course, Green Bay ranks first in the league in offensive points scored per game in the second half this season with 16. Head coach Matt LaFleur doesn't have a specific answer as to what's been causing the slow starts.
I just think there's a lot more out for this group, and we just have to have that urgency, and it starts with us as coaches and making sure that we're very intentional about what we're asking our guys to do. And then they got to be a part of this process as well, because it's been very, very frustrating, I would say, the last couple of weeks.
The Packers have a very winnable game upcoming in Week 7. They will travel to Denver to take on the struggling Broncos as they try and right this ship. That's sports. I'll be right back.
We got a little time here, so let's talk about that forecast once again. We've got some clearing out there, but we'll see some clouds kind of roll back in as we go throughout this evening. This will lead to a mostly cloudy sky, but we should stay dry. Any showers working in will stay to our east. Some lake effect rain showers both tonight and tomorrow. Temperatures tonight are down around 42. Clouds will increase as our winds remain from the north and northwest. We've got a breeze out there. The wind will lighten up a little, but we still maintain that breeze here as we look through the overnight. 55 for tomorrow. Cloudy start, but we'll see an increase in sunshine as we look through the afternoon. Winds will pick up both Tuesday, Wednesday. We're back into the low 60s by the time we get into Tuesday. Same thing for Wednesday, too. Next cold front comes in, and that'll bring us a chance for some rain showers there as we look towards Wednesday afternoon. Better chance for rain will come in once we get into Thursday. Then behind that front, those temperatures will drop back through the 70s, so we'll fall back below average as we head towards the end of the week, which seems to be kind of the trend a little bit these last couple of days.
Oh, at least we're finally seeing the 60s. It seems like we went from the 80s to like freezing, and we skipped that middle ground.
Yeah, a little middle ground, does not hurt. As temperatures, advertised should be in the low 60s, right around 63 degrees. So we'll get a little above that towards the middle of the week, and I think we'll start to see those numbers go up too once we get beyond the 7-day. Not extreme warmth, but maybe just kind of balancing back out where we should be here for October.
Sounds great. Yeah. Thanks, Candace. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you at 10.